Welcome to This is Private Practice. Today is Wednesday, it's the 27th of March, and right now I'm a little bit flummoxed. I don't know if you've ever tried to get onto a website where you assumed by typing in the exact words for the thing you're looking for would allow you to navigate the website and find the thing you were looking for. No, that's not possible. I am trying to find information from our DVA website. Anybody in Australia who knows anything about working with our Department of Veterans Affairs, if you could stick your hand up and go, Joe, what are you looking for? How can I help you? I would really appreciate it, because I'm not silly, but that website has totally confused me. I obviously don't think like a defense personnel. That's the problem. It's probably a very easy website to navigate. Anywho, isn't that a fun thing to talk about when we're trying to build private practice? The amount of time we spend searching for information. But that is a topic for another day. Whew. I wanted to talk to you today about our people resources. Now, there is a discipline out there in the world of work called human resources. And many of us are under the apprehension that that is so the wrong word, under the understanding that that's about how we look after people in a workplace. However, if you've ever experienced a human resources department, that can quite often not be the experience. And it got me thinking today, because I'm actually working with a rehab client who has a lot of experience in human resource management, and she hasn't been in the workplace for about 7 years due to her disabling condition. And it's just really interesting that when we've started looking at where her knowledge and skills could apply, she goes, I don't want to go back to that. That's not looking after people. And it's got me thinking about how we as private practice owners, when we end up having people in our world, people that we recruit, that we manage, that we support, that we mentor, how quickly we stop being caring and very quickly turn them into Autobots. So they're very extremes, and you're all sitting there going, I don't do that, but let me share with you what I've seen happen a lot. We have a lot of people who have never managed anybody before, never managed a team, never had to lead a team, because management and leadership are not the same thing. And all of a sudden they've got these people in their world. So they might be additional clinicians, or they might be a receptionist. Even if you're outsourcing, you need to be able to manage your human resources in your practice. See, we are actually in the business of human behavior. We are in the business of people. So I don't care if you're a dietitian or a speechy or a rehab counselor or a therapist or a chiropractor or whatever you are. When push comes to shove, we are in the business of people, and people always want to be treated as a person. So when we have all these systems and processes which are about efficiency, we have systems and process, and we try and make people fit the systems and the process. When what we actually need is for the systems and the processes to fit the people. Now, that doesn't mean that everybody gets their own system and their own process. That doesn't always work. What it does mean, though, is that people need to be informed. They need to be educated. They need the opportunity for practice. Then they need the opportunity to go, hey, this doesn't make sense, or I don't know how to make this work. Now, anybody who has worked with any clients from a non-English speaking background, or in my case, a non-Anglo background, we know this happens, because, you think of people from Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders, they don't fit our systems and processes. You think about people from Indonesia, China, they don't fit our processes. I really hope this person isn't offended, but you think of anybody from a South Pacific Islander community, they do not fit our systems and processes. But still, we as employers, we tend to think that the people in our world should just be doing the things the way we want it done, the way we want it done. So why is that happening? Well, it's happening for quite a few reasons, but I'm just going to talk into a few that I know it happens for me. So I love my people, but when I'm under pressure and feeling stressed, I just want the freaking tasks done. That's a part of my personality. It's part of what makes me awesome at other things, but sometimes managing my human resources, it doesn't make me awesome at that. Sometimes when I send back an email that says yes, and I think I'm being really helpful, actually makes the person receiving it feel like they have offended me in some way. That's not cool. So I'm allowed to be human. People are allowed to be human. We need to make sure that we are recruiting the right person to do the job that needs to be done. A lot of us will fall in love with potential. A lot of us are really good at training, mentoring, and coaching. A lot of us will go, I can see the person that you can become. And when you become that person, you're going to be awesome for my business. Forgetting that there's a transition process that we need to take people through to get them to that growth phase, to get them to that spot where they are awesome. And that can get annoying, especially if money's tight, energy's tight, money's tight, energy's tight. Those sorts of things can happen. But if we start treating our team like they're nothing but a response to an Autobot, or, I just want you to follow the system, I just want you to follow the process, a couple of things will happen. Number one, people get lazy and they stop taking initiative and they stop being able to make decisions. And they're doing this for a couple of reasons. One, we don't give them the practice, so they forget how. And two, they're usually terrified of getting it wrong because you've probably been a bit harsh with them, aka good work, Joe. So they're going to follow the system and the process to the letter of the law so they don't get into a trouble again. So we need to get better at integrating our systems and processes. So email automation is awesome unless it sounds like email automation. I hate receiving messages. Look at the look on my face. Hate receiving messages from something that is obviously standardized, auto-botted, botted. I hate it. You can tell straight away. It's like, wowzers. Cool. Like when somebody spells my name J-O-E, you can tell straight away. You did not think about that. You have not thought about that. You obviously haven't worked out that I'm a woman. Not hard. Okay. So I'm talking a lot around the circles. Where I want to get to is we as clinicians, health professionals are experts in the behavior of our humans. This is really cool. I can see that there are at least 3 of you who have joined this call, but somehow Facebook is telling me that there's only 1 person watching. So, wake up. Okay. We can't allow our desire for efficiency, our desire for all the systems and the processes. Yes, they're important, but they only serve one piece of the puzzle. The other piece of the puzzle is effectiveness. So your systems and your processes will drive your efficiency, but your people will drive your effectiveness. They're 2 different things. You can have incredibly efficient marketing processes and make no sales. You can have incredibly effective sales processes, but not be able to execute efficiencies on the back end to allow you to be able to execute that work. Human-centric design, people-centric design allows for both things to be happening. And that's what we need to be doing as leaders. So even if you do not have employees, you are delegating some part of work to another person. If you're not, we have another conversation to have. Because if you are a clinician in private practice, you need help. If you are a clinician in private practice and you expect to do this for any length of time, you need help, aka you don't have to do your own bookkeeping. So I want you to take a close examination, a close look today, because recruitment is expensive. When people turn up and they're present but they don't produce, they are expensive. You will get resentful of paying people's wages. You will get resentful of paying people's insurances. You will get resentful of the people around you if you don't appreciate what it is they bring to the party. But you've got to make sure that you're recruiting the right person for the right job. You've got to make sure that your systems and your processes actually back up what your people need to be able to do. I have experienced in this business some pretty horrible customer service administrative processes lately. They have not been customer centric at all. They have been purely administratively centric, and it's left a really bad taste in my mouth. And it's happening more than once. People are on this drive for all this efficiency and they forget that there's a person involved. So simple things that you can be doing: return phone calls, text messages, especially when a client's involved. You can be answering the phone with a lovely voice. You can be letting people know if you're not available. They're all simple things that you can set up with technology, using your voice, using the way you speak, allowing people to feel like they've been heard, they've been acknowledged. Massive, massive difference if we start doing this. With the people in your office, something I didn't do today. Sophie's working remotely today. We spent a lot of time together yesterday. We've been having a good laugh. But I was so focused on my tasks today, and I'm tired, I've admitted that I just started shooting work at her this morning. I didn't even say good morning to her. So for me, that's not okay. If she was here in the office and she'd come in and done that, I would have been pretty hurt. She wouldn't have done that. So why would I do that to her? She's not here. I didn't see her. She's at the end of the email. It feels different. But they're the types of things as the owners, as the leaders in our business, that we need to be taking care of, because our people are not robots, nor do we want them to be robots. Oh, Dean Lawler, thank you so much for the guilty plea there. I appreciate that. I'm sitting there going, if I'm the only one who admits to treating people like this, I'm going to feel pretty awkward come tomorrow. You know what? It's going to turn up, and it's going to turn up everywhere because it's a part of the personality. So there are other people in this world who don't go for lots of task completion. I know they're unusual, Dean, but they are. There are people in this world who, when they get stressed, they care about the people so much. And I can assure you that most counselors, therapists, psychologists, social workers fall into this category. Not all of them, but quite a lot of them. And it's okay, because we need them to be awesome at caring for the people. But what that means when you care for your people too much is you start to breed some laziness. You start to breed some favoritism. You start to breed a sense of, it's okay for me to get away with things here. And you don't mean to do it, but it's just a risk. And once we know what those risks are, then we can actually do something about it. Yes, Dean, we totally get caught up in our own headspace. And people like you and I, we are going so fast all the freaking time. It's not always about the coffee, that we just forget that other people matter in the moment. And Jill Johnson-Young, yes, if you saw the way that I was behaving this morning, you would have pulled me into line pretty darn quickly. So we have human resources all over our business. Our clients are human resources. We need them. We want to serve them. The people that your clients are attached to, we often need to serve, just in case you're wondering. Anybody who is a supplier, anybody who is an employee or a subcontractor, anybody who is providing you with a service, even if it's somebody on Fiverr, you need to be thinking about your human resources, because there are going to be things that AI just can't replicate. So if your goal is to not have to speak to another human, number one, please don't tell me you're a health professional. And number two, we're not going to move away from needing human to human interaction. The way of work is going to look very different in 10 years' time, but there are still some things that AI cannot replicate, and I'm doubtful it will be able to replicate. Thank you, Jill Johnson-Young. I was hoping you would comment there, because Jill has this amazing capacity to care, and then when she gets stressed, she overcares. It's not a bad thing, it just is. But she lets me talk to her about it, so that's what makes her so awesome. So you have been brave enough to sit through this today. Thank you for letting me speak sternly and harshly into it. That's why I put the boot kick up on the event post for today. We have got great people resources in our business, and sometimes our people resources need to go. Sometimes we need to bring new ones in. It's okay, because we're people. So if there's nothing else you take from this today, I want you to understand that you have a lot of awesome humans in your world. And sometimes we need to slow ourselves down enough to recognize their potential, but also recognize that maybe they're not doing the right thing, and maybe they need a little bit of boot kicking. Which is all good. We just don't literally kick anybody while we're at work. You've got that, right? I'm not having anyone come at me with industrial law issues. Very cool. So the rest of this week, I want to talk into other resources that we need to be on top of and managing in our businesses. We've got money and we've got energy. I am looking forward to talking to both of those, because they're pretty much my favorite topics of the moment. All right, people, go forth and be absolutely fabulous and awesome. And I've just realized that Bianca has turned up, and that has made me feel all giggly and girl crushy. So that's very cool. All right, fabulous people, go be your awesome self.